Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda, Chic777, and today I'm coming at you with a project that I've created. This is a project that I made for the Prima design team tryout for 2013-14, and I wanted to put a layout in, along with my other couple of projects, because, Prima's all about the layouts, but I didn't just want it to be a regular square layout. I wanted it to be shaped, and I wanted it to be kind of part of my home decor. So I'm going to move my sign out of the way so we can get going, and I will show you what I've done. Of course, I am off the tripod because it's big. It's about 18 inches tall, about 18 inches wide. Okay, now the stand I picked up actually last year at an antique mall, and it's funny because it had like about, I think, 6 across the top up here, like ceramic, like pottery type bells hanging off of it, and I took those off and threw them in my garage sale for 50 cents a piece, and people bought those up. And then I just kept the stand, and I went ahead and painted it. I didn't want to because it was this beautiful rusty, ugly looking thing, but it just didn't quite go with the tone of my layout. So I painted it with black paint with sand mixed in to give it a bunch of texture. So I'm going to kind of bring it in and show you that, and you'll see it's kind of plain. I tried, there you can get to see the texture on it. I tried on this all sorts of things to decorate the stand. I had a nice big, lacy bow coming up and over the top. I had chain draped up and over. I had, wooden words hanging here. I tried a banner. Nothing just quite looked right to me. So, but I wanted to see the beauty of the curls of the stand, I guess. So that's why it's kind of plain. And you can see a little bit of white, because I used a little bit of white paint just so it's not totally black. So this is the first part of the layout we're going to take a look at. This is kind of my little shaped page. And I got this from I'm trying to remember, it was an album. Ooh, it was the cover of an album. I can't remember. I got it at the scrapbook convention. It was 2 chipboard pages already decorated, and it had some rings in it and everything so that you can make your own mini album out of it. And when I make pages or mini albums, I love to take things apart and make it all eclectic in different shapes. So, I decided I'm going to make like a shaped page because this section, of the stand is small, of course. So I wanted something that kind of hung and fit in that little bit of a section. Now, the paper I used was Prima Romance Novel. I also used some of Teresa Collins' new line called Stationery Noted. I love that line because it's just, it's kind of romantic and it's kind of everyday thoughts and stuff. And so yeah, it's one of my fun new ones I've picked up. And then I used a little bit of Pink Paisley London Market, just a couple of little pieces here and there. So I'm going to bring it in a little bit closer. I've done, as you can see, a lot of texturing. I pulled out a lot of masks for this. I pulled out one Prima brick mask, or not a brick mask, just a Prima mask. I was going to use a brick mask, but it's a Prima mask. Let me show you which one I used, because you can see it more so on the other one. Let me bring it in. This is the one I used, and you can see it more on the heart-shaped layout to the left. I'll show you that. And then I pulled out, as you can see in here, this is the Art Is stencil. We all know which that one is. I pulled out this new one here I just picked up at my local scrapbook store, and it's tiny, tiny micro dots. I'm going to bring that in and show you. So that's kind of fun to play with. And then another one I pulled out, it got kind of covered up. Let me go down to the bottom of the page here. You can see it just a little bit right there, but it's this new one. Also, I picked up at my scrapbook store, and it's this one, and that's kind of fun. And this one is called the Mini Quatrefoil? Quarterfoil? I don't know. Anyway, that's what that one is. It's really fun. I kind of like it. So I bought it and used it. Anyway, so let's start at the very tip top, as you can see. And then I used some wide eyelets in here to hold my rings. And what I did on both pages is I used like these 1-inch little you know, book rings. And then each top up here from the book ring, I've got something different hanging. Like this is a ball chain, and this is like a fun kind of gem chain there. Because I wanted it at least to have some, you know, eclecticness to it. I use this fun ribbon here because that is on the page to the left that we'll take a look at. Here is like a Prima chipboard piece. The one with all the letters and stuff on it. I love it. And then we've got a Tim Holtz, you know, those little mini cards. And I also did some stamping on there with one of my wooden stamps. It was a script stamp, so I thought that would add some fun texture. And in here, you know, most of you know that have seen my videos, you know, the significance of February and 14, not just because it's Valentine's Day, but that's because it's my anniversary. So I've played with those numbers again on, you know, this particular project. So a Tim Holtz number. And then this is just an adornment piece that I got from Butterbee Scraps from her store. Okay, and underneath here is just a piece of the Prima romance novel, the one with all the type on it. And I've, you know, as you can see, I sewed all the pieces individually, and I textured each one of them, and then I edged all of them with the Prima black ink. This is just one of those little, it's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see under, there it is, a little bit. It's just one of those, I think it's, is it Artie Cakes? Their little bag of little fun stick pins or whatever. I think it's Artie Cake, I'm not sure, but it's one of those I got from Michael's, little bag of stick pin I stuck in there because I just like the fluff. And then, oh, I forgot, there are some chipboard pieces from the Prima engraver line, which is this little scallop piece here, and I did stamp on it. This is a ticket piece that I got from Joann's. It's 7 Gypsies. Okay. And then this is also from 7 Gypsies line, some of their new stuff they've got coming out. This paper here is from the new Teresa Collins Stationery Noted line. It is such a cute, cute line. I mean, look at the, you know, the type on there. What it talks about. Hold hands every chance you get. Be, you know, the best friends you can be. Marry your best friend. Listen to them. Hug them. Kiss them goodnight. You know, kiss them when they wake up. I mean, it's just a really cute romantic type line. And it's in blacks and reds and blues. So I really had a lot of fun with it. And then, of course, here you can see I pulled out one of the Prima metal heart frames. And obviously I textured everything. And you can see the shape. See the shape of this little, you know, page in the back? I think there's some Tim Holtz dies out like that. So, but that's a shape. It was already pre-done. I just covered it up. Anyway, so we're coming back to here. These couple of pieces are some wood pieces that I got at Michael's on clearance. And all I did was just texture them up a little bit. And I added some fake sewing lines to it. And then here on this one, I hung a little key. And then I've got a couple of little flowers that I've ordered from, I always forget her shop. Is it Discount Crafts 1, I think, on Zibbit, or Etsy? I apologize. It's from that store. Anyway, and then from this bottom one, Forever, I added an extra eyelet over here. And then I hung a little Tim Holtz locket there, and I took chain and hung it from that, and it kept flipping forward, so I just went ahead and kind of glued the top portion to that bottom page, so it still kind of looks like it's hanging, but it's not flipping forward on me. And then underneath in here I added some of this fun crochet trim. It's all crinkly and it's elastic, so that's really fun. I added some across the bottom there just to kind of give it a shabby chic look. So there's that front page, and I'm going to flip it over. I'll turn the whole thing over real quick. The back is just cardstock on both pieces, so let me turn it over and kind of give you a quick look. And you can really see the stamp. There's the Prima stamp I used, okay, on both of those, because I didn't want the back just to be plain, you know, black cardstock. And so now you can really see the shape of that page. And that, you know, that is a really fun stencil I got. Steph, hi baby, Brown Baby Craftaholic sent that to me in a little rack. So this is the first time I pulled it out and used it. It's perfect because, you know, I've got a nice big area to use it on. And then what I did is Lindy Stamp Gang, I used the Midnight Rendezvous Raven, the black, and then I used the Rudolph Nose Red spray, and then I also used just Huey's, Mr. Huey's or something like that, the Shine, which is just a clear. Okay, one moment please, I'm going to get this turned back around. Oopsie. There we go. Alright, so there, now you can, there's that page. Okay, so then we're going to go over to the left. Now this heart-shaped page that I got, it is actually from Dollar Tree. Around Valentine's Day, they had a big package of these great big, I think it was 5 in a package, 3 shapes of these fun kind of, you know, country style hearts. So that's what I used for that. And I just traced it and cut it out of chipboard because I didn't want to use, you know, my master shape. Okay. So you're seeing a quick picture there of me. Now, 1 second, because my husband is kind of, he doesn't like really want our stuff on, you know, YouTube. So when we come over to my picture a little bit more, I'm just going to kind of cover it up, okay? So let's take a look, but I want you to see it as a whole with my picture on it. So let's take a look as a whole down this left edge. So what I've got here is, as you can see again, I've got that artist stencil coming on up here, and there's my chicken wire stencil in there. You can see that. So a lot of texture going on here. And then I use like my texture paint to add in that kind of that powdery softness and kind of bring the writing and stuff out on that artist stencil. That's like my favorite stencil. I love the writing on it. And then this is just romance novel paper here, and this is the, you know, note to self tag I cut out of the collection. And in this here, underneath here is a chipboard engraver piece. It was actually a big circle. It was a compass, and I cut it in half. And then this piece is from the stationery noted line, and I fussy cut that out, and then I kind of placed it, you know, it says documented today, and I placed it on top of that engraver chipboard piece to kind of make it pop out a little bit. Okay, and then right in here, I'm going to go across, you can see, these are wings. These are the chipboard Tim Holtz wings. They were given to me from the gal at our local scrapbook store up here. And what I did to those, when I was up there just recently, I was picking up some stencils, and you can see I stenciled on it over here with the artist stencil. And then over here I did those little bitty micro dots. And then I also stamped on it, and then I sprayed Lindy's to kind of bring the red tone in, because I wanted, you know, there was red here, and then I wanted to bring another red here, and then I wanted to come down and bring in some red there. Okay, so it kind of gives me a triangle of red, and then of course I kind of just did red spraying around everything to kind of, you know, bring it all together. But I'm going to bring it in closer. You can see the texture on the wings besides the stenciling, like right in here. What happened is when I was at my local scrapbook store, I had bought the crackle paint that they have there, you know, like the stenciling paste and stuff like that, the modeling paste. It's the same brand that we get at Michael's, and it was the crackle paste. And I was reading on the back of it, you know, and it says, you know, you just paint over it and crackle, but it said to wait 3 or 4 days for it to like crackle. And I'm like, are you serious? And then right underneath it in big letters, it was like, you know, it literally said, don't try to heat set it and hurry it up, basically in those words. And I'm like I'm going to listen to that. So I heat set it, and it didn't crackle, but I actually liked, and I knew it wouldn't, because if I told you not to do that, it wasn't going to crackle, but I wasn't going to listen to it. But what was cool is, look how thick it came out, almost like snow. Almost like maybe like snow text or something on there. I thought that was really cool effect. So I just made it go on really thick, like 1/4 of an inch thick, to get that texture. So it didn't crackle, but it really gave some dimension to those wings. So I thought that was a really cool thing. And then, you know, as I stenciled on it, kind of added some more. So these are little chips. So anyway, loved how those crackled wings turned out. So these are little chipboard pieces from that stationery noted line. Okay, and then as we come down kind of the side here, you can see right in here is another little metal piece that matched the one I showed you on the right side of that little half page, I guess we'll call it. And that's from Butterbee Scraps again. And that little banner there, that's from the Prima Lyric collection, and all I did was just kind of texture it up with some paint. Okay, and then my picture, I textured a little bit, as you can see, and I sewed it a little bit, and you can see bits and pieces of like romance novel paper coming out, and let me see, down in there, right in here is where you can actually see some of the pink paisley paper come out a little bit. This is a quote, and again, it's from that Stationery Noted paper pack. I should have brought that out in case some of you hadn't seen it. And then I added some flowers and stuff, just like on the other side from that Zibbet store. And then this came off of one of those 7 Gypsies tags, and it actually said number 214 on it, so I thought that was kind of cool, because again, like my anniversary. And then I added some of that ruler ribbon here, so it would match up on, the ruler ribbon, like up there. And back down again we go. And then I added some more again of this. I love this. I can't remember where I got it. I think Jules might have sent it to me. I ordered it from her store. I think that's where it was. I ordered it from the Jewel box. It's crinkly, crocheted, stretchy, ribbon. I love it. Trim. I've got to get some more because I maybe only have about 7 or 8 inches left. Not very much. Anyway, and from underneath the flowers, I hung a few little items. I hung a Prima key, and then I hung one of the vintage trinkets, the Roman numerals, a number 2. And then I hung this, I believe this is an Artie Cake charm. It says the number 10, not because it has anything to do with our anniversary, but, the significance was, our marriage is a perfect 10. On the good days. You guys know what I'm talking about. It is. Our love is a perfect 10. And you can see in here all the texturing and the little bit of stamping I did on the back. And you can kind of see strings hanging off. I originally, let me go up the side. You can see it here. I originally had this heart as a canvas, but it was just too plain with just canvas. So what I did is I took the canvas, I went ahead and left it on there, and then I covered it with the romance novel paper, and then I, distressed the edges and let some of the canvas fabric show out. So that's why you're seeing that kind of all the way around. And then here again is that stencil, a little bit of stamping over it. So that just made a real fun technique. A lot of texture over everything like I usually do. This is a wood clock I got from Saw Crafters. Love those. Okay, and we're coming down around to the bottom. This is one of those Prima light bulbs. They finally got them in our local scrapbook store. I was so excited. Just the big ones, though. I'd love to get some little ones, but they got just the big ones, so I got about 4 or 5 of those. I finally got my hands on some of those. I wish I could find little ones. Anyway, so then amidst here is some more flowers. And this flower's from Saw Crafters. It's the variegated black and white one I love. And then this is just another piece from the Stationery Noted line. It says, I just want to spend my days with you. I know, right? That's why I love this line. It's so romantic. And then down at the very, very bottom in the corner of the heart is the Prima wood letters X's and O's. And I left them as I have been because I'm kind of liking it, just leaving them in their natural element, but I'm just inking the edges a little bit and then adding texture paste. And on these ones, I did just a little bit of stamping. And then right mixed in with the flowers is from the engraver line. Is this from the engraver, the Prima chipboard butterfly? And then also this is from the engraver line, and this is the chipboard word that says together. And then mixed, I forgot because it's just hiding right in here. There is a little almanac wooden button. And I just tied some twine around it in a bow. So there was that kind of peeking out in there. But anyway, I just love all the texture and everything on there. Okay, there's another sneaky peek at me. So I'll come back again so you can kind of see it as a whole. So there's kind of my project I sent in for Prima, but it's a home decor piece. I wish I could have thought of something, or something would have pleased me to kind of wrap around up at the top or something, a bow. It just took away from the layouts. Anything I tried to put up there, when I look at it, that was the first thing I saw. So I thought, you know what, nothing's supposed to be there. It's just kind of my stand. It's the stand for my layout. So anyway, there it is. I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think, and Thanks for sharing your time with me. I'll have some pictures on my blog so you can see a little bit closer up if you didn't get quite enough of a close-up in the video. But, you know, I love you guys, and like I said, thanks for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. Bye.